What's good, everybody? So a little over a year ago, I was in the market for a new e-bike. I knew absolutely nothing about them, so I done a lot of research, and let me do the research so you don't have to. What I ended up with was the Sonata Archon. Let me say this about this company: absolutely phenomenal to deal with. If you have any questions, they have the answers. And one of the few companies out of all the products that I use that actually listens to customer feedback. They took everything that people complained about this bike and the rest, and they fixed it, and now they're selling it as an additional bike. Absolutely phenomenal. You don't get a lot of companies that will actually listen to customers' feedback, much less listen to their feedback and then apply it to their products. A company that does that is an excellent company in my opinion. So let me give you the rundown of what I got. So a little over a year ago, this bike was on flash sale for $1,000, $999. For $1,069 after tax, it was shipped to my front door, and I could not be happier. Assembly on this bike was super simple. It took me about 30 minutes. You install the handlebars in the front wheel, and you're ready to ride. Minus charging the battery, of course. So what did I get for $1,069? Well, I got an excellent piece of equipment. The primary reason I bought this bike was to go camping with. My primary concern when I was shopping for an e-bike was I live in West Virginia. We're the mountain state. Is this bike going to go up the hills that I need it to go up, or am I going to have to push it, hauling an additional 60 to 80 pounds of gear? Thank goodness I did not have to push this. Not only did I not have to push this bike chews uphill, loaded with me and my gear at 15 mile an hour in pedal assist 3. Absolutely phenomenal. Not only do I use it for camping, but this has actually become my main mode of transportation. I live in a small town Lewisburg, West Virginia, and I can get anywhere I need to on this bike, usually quicker than you can in a vehicle because I don't have to fight the traffic. What did I get for $1,069? Well, I got an excellent bike, I can say that. The durability of this thing is bar none. I have 750 miles exactly on it to this day. I've done zero maintenance other than grease the chain, and I changed one set of brake pads on the back, and I didn't even really need to do that. They just needed adjusted. So the maintenance is bar none, which is fantastic. It is a hub drive motor on it, so that alone cuts your maintenance down a lot. This bike has been absolutely fantastic. I've added a couple extras on it just to suit me a little bit better. The seat is not the seat that comes on it, but the seat that comes on it will suit you just fine. I'm just a little bit older, so I like to have this one. It's a little more comfortable. The pannier bags, they don't come with the bike, and neither does the trunk. They're excellent add-ons, and in my opinion, they're a must-have. What you get with the bike is everything you see, minus this phone carrier, minus the mirror, minus this particular seat, and the pannier bags. Aside from that, you get one excellent piece of equipment. This bike has, I've had it in snow, about 6 to 8 inch deep snow. It will get a little bit squirrely in the snow, but aside from that, it'll chew right through it. Just keep it in about pedal assist 3. You want to keep your speed up a little bit in some snow. I've had this bike in four-wheeler trails. I've had this bike power lines, steep gravel roads, steep paved roads, up and down both ways. Flat ground, I get 30 mile an hour top speed. Going downhill, I've had it up to actually 42 miles an hour, which is way faster than anyone needs to go on a bicycle. It is zero pedal assist if you want. You got pedal assist 1 through 5, or you have full throttle. I do most of my riding on the Greenbrier River Trail, which allows class 1 through 3, and this bike classifies as all of them. It is a 1,000 watt battery. It is 80 newton meters of torque, which is extremely important when you're buying an e-bike in the mountain state or anywhere else that has hills. You want those high newton meters of torque because that'll take you up the hills effortlessly. And when I say effortlessly, I mean no pedaling at all. Throttle only, you can go up some steep hills. I was absolutely blown away in a good way by this thing. This thing has been an absolute savior hauling my camping gear. Like I say, I ride it to work every day and back home every day. Good weather, bad weather, it does well in all. I've rode it in the rain. I've had no issues with it being wet. One of the other key features that I really like about this particular bike is the computer screen up here. Your LCD screen is very easy to read with polarized sunglasses, which I've read on a lot of reviews on other bikes. That is a feature that a lot of people wish other bikes had. This bike right now is no longer $1,069. You can pick it up for almost like $600. Always check their website. Sonata always has sales and great deals going on. They're all the time throwing you something extra. They've sent me a free bike lock. They sent me this excellent phone mount, which I'm really impressed with the phone mount. It's super sturdy. I believe it's actually made for motorcycles, which for an e-bike, it's overkill, but I love it. Great job, Sonata. I am not sponsored by this company by any means. Not saying I wouldn't want to be. But I will give credit where credit is due, and I will bash them where they need bashed. I've told you all the good about it. Let me tell you about the bad. I can't think of any. Anything that was negative about this bike that was in the reviews, they fixed it with upgrades on hydraulic brakes. The suspension systems on these are absolutely phenomenal. You got lock-in, lock-out front suspension, adjustable. You got your headlight, which I ride home a lot at nighttime. And the headlight gives you, on flat ground, you'll have probably about 200 yards of visibility, good visibility. You can see anything you need to see with it. It is absolutely phenomenal. There's no drawbacks for me on this bike. My father has the exact same bike in another color. We do a lot of camping together. We do a lot of riding together as well as with my mother. She does not have a Sonata. We're going to try to fix that for her and get her a little bit better e-bike. But yeah, if you're in the market for an e-bike, I recommend you at least give this company a look. They have e-mountain bikes. They have 750 watt commuter bikes. They have step-through bikes. They've got high-power bikes, low-power bikes. Any type of bike that you could possibly want, this company offers it. And not only do they offer it, but they offer a good-looking bike. You cannot tell me that this is not a sharp-looking bike. The matte black with the red, to me, that's sick. Like I say, my father's got a white and red one, also in a very attractive bike. We get so many compliments on these things, it is ridiculous. And like I say, the company is fantastic. Sonata is an absolutely phenomenal company to deal with. They have been so good to me. Any questions I've had, anything that I thought may be an issue, they were always there quick to answer. Within 12 to 24 hours, they will reply to any email you send them. Not only do they reply, but they are honest in their replies, and they are very, very caring in their replies. This company will take care of you. I promise you that. If you buy a bike from Sonata, you will not be disappointed, which is part of the reason I intend on purchasing at least one of each of their bikes. Because like I say, I do a lot of riding on the Greenbrier River Trail here in Lewisburg, West Virginia, and I intend on starting to rent and sell e-bikes. And having rode this bike for a year, put 750 miles on it with zero issues whatsoever, I will start buying bikes from them to rent for people to ride on the trail, and then I'll sell them as used bikes for people that would like to pick up a used bike. with that said, anything that I've heard negative on these bikes, I really can't understand why someone would have a negative issue unless maybe they got a bad bike, which it can happen, but they will make it right with you. Any issues you have, Sonata will definitely go out of their way to make it right with you. Like I say, myself, I'm lucky. I've never had a single issue with this bike. 750 miles, this battery still takes a full charge. It still rides exactly the way it did the day that I bought it. It still lasts the exact amount of time as it did the day that I bought it as far as battery charge goes. How far can you go on this bike? Well, that depends on several factors. How much do you weigh? How much pedaling do you want to do? If you keep this bike in pedal assist 1 on flat ground in ideal conditions, I would say you can pretty much almost get the 65-mile range that they say you can. The hardest ride I've taken on this bike was 40 miles, and it was a lot of uphill, up gravel hill, out a couple four-wheeler trails that I'm really surprised this thing went through, and up a few gas lines, electric lines, rode it up there a few times, and it chewed it up. I've actually taken this bike out a trail that my four-wheeler wouldn't go through. It is a pleasure to ride. It is not a burden to ride to work. I actually enjoy riding this thing every day. It's a blast. It is. 42 years old, you get on it, and I feel like a kid again. Only going uphill as fast as I did going downhill on a kid's bike back in the day. So if you're in the market for an e-bike, I highly recommend you at least give this company a shout out, a look. If you're, they have the e-mountain bike, which is my preference. They have the step-throughs, which in what I consider looking like a beach cruiser style bike. And Sonata, if you watch this video, I would love to see you put out a 72 volt e-moto. That'd be really fun. I would definitely pick one of those up as well. But yeah, folks, if you're in the market for an e-bike, check out sonatabikes.com. You can finance these bikes. Like I say, they always have a deal going on. You can get one excellent bike for under $1,000. And when you compare these bikes to cheaper bikes, like I say, the 80 Newton meters of torque compared to other 1,000-watt bikes with 60 Newton meters of torque, this thing will absolutely destroy most e-bikes that you see. Absolutely destroy them for half of the price. I would never, ever recommend a product to anybody that I didn't trust myself. And I trust this bike. Like I say, I've had this bike in adverse conditions. I've had this bike in places it probably shouldn't have went, but it went anyway. And it performs just like it did the day I bought it. So Sonata, I appreciate you guys listening to your customer feedback, applying the feedback. And if you're in the market for an e-bike, guys, give Sonata a chance. Give them a look. You will not be disappointed. I give you my word on that. And if you're in the Greenbrier Valley area and you would like to try out one of these bikes, you can hit me up in the chat or comments. If you have any questions, I would love to answer them. Hit the comments up for any questions you have. I will answer them as quick as I possibly can. And if you would like to take one of these bikes for a ride in the future, get a hold of me. I'll let you test ride one. If you want to test ride it before you would commit to buying it from either me or Sonata, like I say, I'll be having them used because I do intend on riding each one that I get from them. And like I say, I would just, this company is fantastic. This bike is fantastic. And I know there's a lot of companies out there, but if you're looking for best bang for the buck, you cannot go wrong with a Sonata e-bike. You guys have a great day. Thanks for watching.